We'd used like baby signs for Jesse, and we found that it worked really well for him, just in between that communication before they're talking, just to get them through meal times and things. So we thought, well, with any child we would do that. And then when Noah came along and he had the special need being Down syndrome, it was a speech language therapist that suggested, or did we know about Makaton, and I hadn't heard about it until then, but we were fully, well, yeah, what's it all about, and we definitely would be doing the few signs that we knew. And from there it just, I went to a couple of courses and then showed the rest of the family, and we've been doing it with Noah ever since.
Initially, when Heather first introduced the Makaton concept to us, I was quite sceptical because I thought, no, I just want him to talk. So, no, I don't want him to sign like a deaf person. He's not deaf, I just want him to learn how to talk. But then as time went on, I realised that he just couldn't get his tongue around words, and it wasn't going to happen. So, we started to do the Makaton, and it was actually quite fun going to the classes and learning a new language. And he just picked it up so easily.
Cakes! What? Cakes! Oh, cakes!
We needed to do something because her frustration levels were terrible, just not being able to communicate with us. I had absolutely no idea that she was wanting something to drink, and she would get really frustrated because I couldn't understand, and she was trying to tell me, whereas if she was hungry or something. And so I went and did the course, and it helped us immensely, really. No, is it a lion, not a kitty cat, silly?
Can you see Chopper?
Papa?
Oh, there's Chopper. I started signing with Seb when he was about 1 year old. The most useful words to begin with was drink, food, nappy, bed. Those were the key words, really, and that's really what we focused on. And within 3 or 4 weeks, he was using those signs to certainly communicate his frustrations. And if he was hungry or thirsty, he would indicate to me, not perhaps in a detailed gesture, but in a gesture which I could understand what he was trying to convey to me.
The program, learning it and that, it's not a hard thing to do, and I think that when you've got a special needs child and you think, oh, is this just another thing I'm going to have to do, it's actually not as difficult as you might think. It takes a little bit of effort to start with, and I guess also putting aside your own inhibitions, because people will look at you and you just got to get past what people think and just do it anyway, because you've got to do it at home and in public everywhere to reinforce it.
Yeah, the initial fear was that he wasn't going to learn how to speak if he was signing, and he'd just used signing, but then once you learn more about Makaton and you realise that you're actually verbalising as well as signing, it's not one or the other.
Yeah.
It was a gateway to being understood, and yeah, I don't know what would have happened if he hadn't been able to have that bridge in between his terrible speech and being understood.
Where's Flower? He knows a lot of signs, in excess of 300. He's vocalising almost with every sign as well. It's certainly a reassurance now, because he is starting to babble and talk, vocalise more often. He uses the signs to reassure him of his spoken word.
He communicates to us now. He's nearly 3, and I can give him a choice with food, and he'll choose by signing which one, or he will just point or sign, like if it's fruit on a bowl and he wants a banana, he can just tell me and sign banana. That's what he wants. Really good for instruction for Noah. Excellent for discipline, because as long as you have the eye-to-eye contact and then you sign for him, he seems to listen far greater. We find too that he doesn't have so many tantrums the frustration that it must be when you can't communicate, but he does communicate with a sign, gets us through.
Kelly's behaviour since using Makaton is so much better. She was getting really frustrated and so sort of falling on the ground, banging her fists and just screaming because she couldn't get through to us what she wanted. Is it a donut? Oh.
Since then, her speech has actually improved as well. She's come alive.
She's blossomed. She's absolutely blossomed. She's
Thank
just
you, my darling.
suddenly she's got a little personality of her own, whereas she was always in her elder sister's footsteps, and Jessica always spoke for her. Suddenly, Kelly is just Kelly, and she's such a bubbly little happy girl. The other day, we were doing signs, and we had the sign of the pig, and she turned around to me and she said, "Oh, Mummy, Daddy snores when he's sleeping."